and
see.
yeah, for not coming back again
I
to her.
see.
So
Okay. I see. Okay. So, this isn't, I didn't have this question written down for you, but I just wanted to ask you, um, so when you achieve moksha and you merge with God, is
mhm.
this like a collective consciousness kind of thing? Or like, are you still you? Or do you essentially dissipate and just become God?
Yes. Uh, so
Sorry.
I just no, I just stuck on the collective consciousness word because yes, that one part that you said is true. We are merging with the God, but I didn't get your question in terms of collective consciousness.
Oh, collective consciousness is a term that we use that basically means like, imagine a bunch of selves in the cloud,
Yes,
like up on the internet, right? And so it's like this one entity where everyone shares thoughts and feelings and they're all together yet separate. Does that make sense?
yes, yeah, yeah. I mean, I understood the collective consciousness. I didn't understand the question related to
I
collective
was, so
consciousness.
is that what moksha is? Or do you essentially completely disappear and just become God? Do you get what I'm saying? Does your consciousness, yourself, the person that I'm speaking to right now, does that
Mhm.
person linger and stay you once you reconnect with the God?
No, that won't stay me because my existence is fully merged and disappeared from this form. So I fully go and merge with the God.
I see. Okay. Thank you for clarifying that for me.
No problem.
Okay, so what are your thoughts on the traditional Hindu views of women as being fragile and in need of protection?
Yes, so in Hinduism, it's assumed, and it was actually I have been seeing, I have seen in my childhood that women are more and should be more with feminine um what you call their feminine property. Of course we all have our masculine and feminine both in us,
Hmm.
but women are more should be nowadays everyone is IT and going out and driving car and going, but it's ideally women should stay home, take care of family, take care of children, cook food, take care of her husband. So they should be protected by someone, and that someone is a masculine. So the masculine in your house should be protecting you because she is considered as the part of answer of your question is yes, she is considered, a woman is considered as a little fragile because she is more doing fragile activities, right? She can't be masculine and manly. She is doing like more feminine activities, nurturing activities. So she is assumed as a delicate and fragile, and there has to be these tasks should be done by masculine. He's not expected to do cook food and nurture. Nowadays it's vice versa and mumbo jumbo, but who is cooking food and who is taking care of children? But ideally in Hinduism, I don't know in other religions as well, but women are supposed to be considering more feminine aspects, and men are supposed to go out, mm, uh, get manly things done, come home, get you know
Right,
resources,
yes,
which
like,
is money, yeah,
yes, like
and
a
a
good
home.
balance there. Yes, which and I mean, and this is not to say anything bad about people who don't follow traditional kind of,
No,
gender roles in their family, but
yes,
it works well in my family. I'm a stay-at-home mom and my
yes,
husband works and it works well for us. But I understand too that, maybe that doesn't work for everybody. Some people do better with the stay-at-home dad and a working mom and, you
yes.
know, so, no, but I do understand what you mean, though. And I can see there being value in that idea for some people. But I can also see maybe why some people would want to reject those, gender norms as well. and not see it as
Yes.
working for their life.
Yes, especially because if a mom, those are single moms, they cannot just sit at home and take care of children. They have to go out, they have to drive car, they have to bring money home, and also have to nurture kids. So they have to do both masculine activities too. And even as you said, um uh, uh, the even in the couple too, in a family, if it works, whatever works for your family, that works best. It doesn't like have to be followed, but that's like anciently or assumed as in Hinduism.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, from what I've read and learned from you and the other Vanessa, who I also interviewed, these days it seems Hinduism is very flexible and people
Yes.
can make it as dogmatic or secular as they would like it to be and make it fit their lifestyle.
Yes.
Okay. So our next question, which we talked about a little bit more, or a little bit earlier, in Hinduism, there's no sin, and evil is caused by ignorance. Could you elaborate on that for me a little bit?
Yes. In there is no sin because the God's laws or God's words are very, I would say, difficult to follow in today's age. And it is assumed that God is very kind. In Hinduism, it is assumed God is kind and forgiving. Even if you do mistake, you talk to God. You go to, for example, go to temple, confess this to God, and God forgives you. So God doesn't look like it is looked at it in this way in Hinduism, that even if you do sin, there are ways that you can cleanse it, and you can, there are rituals that you can cleanse your sin by doing good karma, by doing there are some also actually the specific rituals, which is um, River Ganga. If you have heard about River Ganga, when you go to River Ganga or Narmada, these are like the Narmada, Ganga, Godavari are the like the biggest rivers in India. And when you go and touch that water, it's assumed as the holy water because the Ganga comes right from Shiva's head. So it's assumed like that. So it's very holy water. So when you go and touch the water, your all sins are cleansed. And that doesn't mean, of course, you are consciously doing a sin. You go touch the water, come back and do a sin, and go touch the water again and get cleansed. No, but God gives you opportunity to cleanse your sins, and there is no sin. So that is little, as you mentioned. Yes, it is not assumed as a sin, and God is very kind to forgive you and always gives you opportunity to do good karma and build your uh, good credit. What you say?
Right. Awesome. Okay. We're almost done. So I guess one of the last questions here is, what is one thing that you wish more people knew about Hinduism?
Yeah, so I would say the since it's very ancient, like thousands and thousands of years ago, um, I wish they should focus more on the the rootedness part of it, the grounding part of it, the as I said, yoga, for example, whatever has emanated from that uh, ancient spiritualism, I would say, basically they should look at it as a ancient spiritualism
Mhm.
than sticking to the rituals or temples or gods or um, uh, sticking to just the other parts of the superficial, I won't say superficial, but main core Hinduism is when you go to that rootedness of Hinduism, which is really down to earth or self-sacrifice, as you mentioned, like moksha. That is pretty much it. So going knowing it more in terms of yoga or the diet, because in Hinduism there are in ancient, it is the diets which is only comes from plants or foods. Now that there is nothing wrong eating meat, but I also heard this somewhere. When you eat meat, it's something that animal that is already killed. I don't want to, make someone feel bad, but hurt someone's feelings. But I have just wanted to share, since we are on topic, that energy, that life form is already killed, and you don't know what emotions that animal went through. And when you eat that, those emotions, or that residue of that emotion, stays in that food, and you eat that food. So it's little considered as more of I won't say a not good thing, but more considered not really ideal, more of natural diet, which has come from like foods, fruits and vegetables and other proteins, which are natural proteins. Um, but yeah, so coming back to question regarding Hinduism, yes, I would like people to know more about that, the ancientness of it, and the good parts like yoga and all that, coming from the ancient spiritualism of Hinduism, not just sticking to the other ritual parts.
Right, right. Okay, that's great. And then the last question would be, would you recommend any specific literature regarding Hinduism other than the sacred texts?
No, I haven't. I mean, I personally, either as a spoken tradition, as you mentioned, or there have been some shlokas, or mainly coming from Bhagavad Gita. So that's something, the base, that's what my family referred to, Gita.
Right. All right. Well, I think that is it. Thank you so much for letting me ask you questions today. Did you have any last remarks you'd like to add?
No, I think that's all. Those are all amazing questions, and thank you so much. It was really exciting. The conversation was really fun.
I agree. I've enjoyed it very much as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you.